I'm here with Corey Twine, Assistant Strength and Conditioning Staff at the University of Michigan. We're here in their weight room, and we were just talking a little bit about high school coaches who use their past experiences as a reason to do things now. And you had some interesting thoughts on that, Corey. Why don't you go ahead and talk about it?
Well, yeah, briefly, I would just like to say that I had the opportunity to learn weightlifting from a weightlifting coach while I was in Houston, Texas. A guy named Tim Sword. He actually taught me about weightlifting and the sport of weightlifting. From that, I had the opportunity to be able to discern what is correct lifting and what isn't. And as I see, and the more I see over YouTube, over Strength Performance Network, I see a lot of colleges, a lot of coaches are coaching improper weightlifting, putting kids in dangerous situations.
When you're talking about weightlifting, you're specifically talking about which lifts?
Weightlifting means one word. I'm talking about the clean and jerk and the snatch specifically, and also I would say branches of those versus just if it's just the hang clean or hang snatch and so on.
Okay, good.
And those lifts are, I wouldn't say a must-do for any college football or high school football player, but they are a must-do correctly. You know, and that is extremely important. And I think it's important that if you don't know how to teach it, it is best to stay away from it completely. If you do know how to teach it, then it's good that you progress slowly and allow your kids to actually learn the movement.
And do you feel like a lot of coaches, maybe they did it, maybe they did one of the movements in high school or college in the past, and they feel like, well, I did it, so now I can teach it?
Yeah, I believe that's the case. They use that as justification they use their past experience as their credibility, and that is not always true. They may have done it, but have they done it correctly? I don't always know that, that's the case.
And when you see freshmen come in here, or, I mean, you've been at a lot of different places, a lot of different schools. When you see freshmen come in, do you see them with, a lot of times, some poor form?
All the time. The only time I usually see freshmen with good form that come into the weight room doing Olympic lifts specifically is if they've been working with a weightlifting coach. And that is, I can usually spot it right away, or everybody spots it right away, and we usually ask them, okay, where did you learn to lift? And their answer usually is with a weightlifting coach or someone in their area who has a club team or something like that. Very rarely do we hear them, okay, at my high school we used to do these or anything like that.
So if a high school coach or anybody working with young athletes thought they wanted to do these, when you say a weightlifting coach, what would somebody do to become a weightlifting coach, or where would they go to get that information?
They would go to USA Weightlifting. USA Weightlifting has a course where they actually teach you from step A to step B or Z, I guess, the points of weightlifting. They teach you about the proper shoes, proper equipment. They teach you about the bars, how the bars should be set up, do the bars spin. They teach you about all of that different stuff, and that is actually the best place to go if a coach wants to get into weightlifting and actually teach their team weightlifting.
And just again to reiterate, if somebody hasn't gone through pretty extensive training, you pretty much feel that they probably should stay away from them? Stay away
completely, because they'll get their kids hurt, and then they'll actually create more difficulty for our job when their kids get here. Because the thing is that it's extremely difficult, one, to reteach a skill. Now, if you get a kid and you teach him poorly, chances are you might get lucky and he doesn't get hurt. However, when he gets here, we have to reteach that skill. And that is extremely difficult to do. And then if we reteach it, chances are he can only just reproduce that when he's asked to. But if he's put in a situation where he just has to react, which basically that's the point of weightlifting, just to be explosive, then he'll revert back to his old technique every single time. So basically, yeah, it screws the kid up for his whole development, for whole physical development.
That's great. Great information. Thanks a lot for the tip, Corey.
No problem.